Hello, welcome to another Near Reading cast. As always, my name's Johno, and I'm joined once again by special guest co-commentator Laurie. How's it going, Laurie?
I'm good, Johno. Looking forward to the final.
That's right. So in the final, we're going to see Joey again on the left. Yeah, good work, Joey. Playing Noise. Now I'm going to attempt to remain neutral as Joey faces off against Alice. So Joey's obviously from around from Reading, around the Redox meta area. Alice is from Preston in the far northwest of England, and she had a good day. I mentioned a little bit at the end of the previous video, but she had a successful day. She only lost one game all day in the Swiss, one ID aside, and she was undefeated in the Cup. So this NEH deck has had a few victories. And Joey's playing Noise again, so it'll be interesting to see how this differs from the last NEH game we played.
Yes, so presumably again Joey knows what flavour of NEH that he's playing against.
I'm not sure if he did. He may have done, yeah.
It's always one of his first considerations, yeah.
Straight away, there's a difference because there's actually ice in this, so he can't start
and
by
that is a good start
instantly in.
Joey as well.
But having said that, Sahasrara, Cash, Wildside, and Peddler all good. If there's if there's an Aesops on that Peddler, it could barely be better.
And the good thing about Peddler against NEH as well, as far as NEH is concerned, they're all 3 clots on that. You know, everything's a clot, so yeah, it's a good bluff even if there's nothing good on it.
So Joey was asked at the start of this turn how many cards he had in hand.
Oh, interesting.
He only has 1.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, you scared me for a minute." I remembered Sweep Speak as a card. So that leads me to suspect that actually at this point he has no idea, and I'm going to let you in on a secret here, Laurie and the viewer. Alice is definitely going to try and kill Joey. That is definitely her plan. It's actually this is a very interesting deck because having had a peek at the deck list and stuff like that, it has it does have murder in it, but also all these Swiss. Having watched and looked at all the Swiss games that she was in, Alice was on top table all day, so I had she was on camera all day during the Swiss. She did not, as far as I know, kill anyone all day during the Swiss. Wow. Even though she was on kill, she scored out every time. But the threat of the kill put a lot of people off. So that's quite interesting, this kind of pressure.
So
Sneak out an Astro.
We see exactly what you just described there. The threat of the kill. Joey's on 0 credit.
Yeah.
And a very friendly handshake. I'm sure he doesn't feel that inside.
Yeah. So he installed the Hacktivist and he played Hacktivist with an Astro on the table, which he scored straight away to kill it.
Not the best efficiency out of that.
That's not great, no. But sneaking out an Astro, this is now the second time we've seen it in 2 videos, Joey, so it definitely works.
Well, it's very strong, like you say, when you know the corp's trying to kill you, and you know there might be snares out there, you know there's Belusa, you know there's mid-seasons.
You don't want to think about it. You
want
to set up.
And it's Noise, you want to set up, you know. So we've already got quite a few mills in the bin here.
Yeah, so that other card, that other installed remote could be a Jackson,
it could.
Or maybe not, and maybe Joey considers running while Alice is on 2 credits, unless there's an Exploder, which there could be. Mid-seasons is not really a threat, although sweeps into mid-seasons is, I suppose. Anyway, he didn't run, so we get sweeps. Yeah, so Joey, once again, doesn't have Aesops, but he does have Wildside and Pancakes.
Yeah, he'll find Aesops in no time.
Hopefully he'll get it in no time. He'll be able to sell the cash. Deisucker's not going to do a lot of work, but you know, you can sort it for free with a meal with Rara, so...
Yeah, and if this is the kill deck, it's quite likely Data Raven, and the best way to kill that is to kill it.
Yeah.
With the Parasite.
You're not wrong, yeah. So there are Parasites in this.
Yeah.
It's CVS, okay. It doesn't do anything. Oh, it kills the clots.
It kills the clot, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, I'll take credit. Oh, no, I have 2 credits, don't I? Yeah.
Yeah, Joey losing track of his money. So he did run, he ran a CVS and he did trash it. He was able to trash it. But he did lose the clot. I don't know if he installed it. He probably installed it just to buy a turn, that kind of thing.
I don't think he probably paid for it either.
No, I expect he installed it for free, yeah. Yeah, so interesting. I'm not sure then. As Joey, maybe you want to start checking some of this ice. I mean, so Alice only has 6 credits.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of stuff that can punish you. You mentioned Archangel last time.
That's always the biggest fear against NEH now is Archangel. I mean, he doesn't want to run too late click. There's things like Turnpike as well, or Gutenberg even, that will give you
some tags,
which you do not want. Again, like this early Astro does put Joey under a lot of more pressure to run. If it wasn't for that, he could certainly run less, take it a bit of a back seat, build his board.
Yeah, the Astro is threatening because it means that, you know, if Alice has managed to draw at any point, is an Astro, might as well score it.
Yeah,
that kind
sounds
of thing.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see. He's having a good think about what he's going to do. What's he looking at? He's got a data sucker. Is that David maybe? So maybe he's thinking about putting a David down and running. It's got another rah. So he's probably not going to install 2 Sahasrahs. That seems a bit inefficient. So he's going to install sucker. Okay. He can't run the problem is he can't run the bin now.
Well, he can now's quite a good time actually because he's got nothing that he minds being purged.
Yeah, I mean he can't benefit. The suckers can't benefit from the run on archives. Yeah, so he's going to check HQ and hit a wrap, which is going to bounce him.
Yeah,
take credit. So that suggests maybe he's got say Lamprey in hand and he was testing to see if he might be able to get in or an imp.
Yeah,
an imp would actually be very good.
Double I, it's HQ from NEH is quite unusual. So, I mean, maybe Alice appreciates the threat of Lamprey and imp. Or maybe she's got a few agendas in hand that she's protecting.
Joey's now trained me that whenever I face noise, I should always HQ. I say HQ before R&D.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
Score just a bill.
Just a bill, yeah.
Just a bill TM.
So she uses an Astro counter to do that as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's always a hard choice.
I mean, there's a risk it was breaking news, for instance, and that would have led to maybe not death, but say Joey's Moon Club getting blown up.
I think I'd be inclined to try and keep that Astro token. I mean, it's very powerful with the kill, and the HQ feels kind of safe at the moment. I mean, Joey has put pressure on it, so he's sort of indicated he wants to get in there. So maybe he's got a few agendas in hand here.
That's actually exactly what Joey said, and I agree, and it sounds like you agree as well. Is that if you've got a bid in hand and you've got an Astro counter, you feel greedy. You're like, I'm actually just going to wait. I'm going to wait for a second Astro before I score this bill. Yeah.
The break and use shenanigans as well that you can do with it as a kill deck.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Alice is running Sans Hands, but
so she's going to struggle with influence, I think.
Yeah, she often do. Yeah. So it's 2 Scorch or 3 Scorch. I think is generally the decision to be made.
Yeah.
And then if you run 2 Scorch, you can afford the Sans Hands.
Yeah, and she's going to have. She's obviously got to afford the Astros. She's going to have Traffics, I guess.
Yeah.
So Shattered Remains. So right now, this is interesting. So now Joey still hasn't really clocked that this could be kill.
Has he not?
No, which is quite interesting. Even though he's now seen a Shattered Remains, he didn't really think anything of it. From what I remember, in the near future, he's going to make an access on R&D. He's going to see a certain card in R&D.
Yeah.
And then he's going to very suddenly think, this might even be now. So he's going to run through a pop-up.
Yeah, I think the Shattered Remains is...
The Shattered Remains is a dead giveaway, I thought. But...
Perhaps he didn't see it amongst the other cards.
No, that's true. He might see nothing in particular,
It's easy to get blinkered.
Okay, so he accesses Salem's. Yes. Okay, now this is interesting. So here's a good thing about this, because when the packet was in, I want to say Democracy and Dogma, whatever it was, that Salem's was in, as that came in, he didn't really think about it. But we talked about it a few times, and I chatted to him a bit about it and said it's really good in kill, because it's kind of a good kill in NBN card, if you know what they've got, because it can...
And even it's great
in particular, I've had worse. Yeah, of course. But even if you know he's got, I don't know, let's say he just Deja Vu'd for 2 Parasites, you can call Parasite. It's like doing meat damage. Anyway, so now, finally, he's got it. Joey's on the same page. He now knows he's facing kill. Okay. And you saw the Shattered Remains as well. So, I'm not sure if that changes how he plays.
Well, I think it does. I think you put a lot higher value on things like Imp, and you put a lot higher value on Access in HQ, because against NEH, you often aren't that interested in HQ once you've got an Astro token.
Yeah. So he's got so he's installed a Lamprey, which means if he can break this wrap with, let's say he's got David, I don't know, at some point. If he can install a David, which he can for 1 credit with Rara, then he can get in and maybe start pressuring, because his solution for meat damage is Imp and Lamprey.
Yeah.
Is to prevent it, as in prevent it before it gets played. So by taking away the money or taking away the card itself, if possible. So I feel we're going to get some accesses. Breaking news. So it's interesting that Alice wasn't tempted to leave that on the table.
Yeah, she's
because Joey's not checking remotes. So she could have left it on the table and, you know, advanced it twice and then had a click and some money maybe to Scorch, for instance. So it's quite interesting. Activist gets cleaned up.
So the thing is, here, if you're Joey, Alice, you know Alice is on kill. Politics are very unlikely, so
yes, that's true.
She needs a way to get out that last 3-2. So
that's true. Yes,
that's the Santan or never advancing it. So that actually puts you in quite a strong position. She seems like she's quite far off the kill with 1 credit. Do we know if Alice is running 24/7? Actually, that is something that
is a possibility. Yeah, it's definitely a risk, right? Because there's no influence. So it's you know, it's not a terrible idea in this kind of deck. It's a good, even just 1 or 2 to throw him in for late game. If you happen to draw one, could be perfect. You know, you'd give up an Astro to give 2 tags if you're going to win. Okay, so run Data Raven. Yeah, definitely kill. Definitely trying to tag. This is worth mentioning. This was in an era before the likes of Exchange of Information, which has added an interesting, some might say overpowered twist to tagging a runner out of NBN. Yeah,
NBN has got a crazy amount of tag options now. It's,
like tag punishment and tagging. Yeah,
certainly makes it harder to play against. So this HQ is actually really strong now for Alice. Like wrap around. We don't know if Joey's got corridor, do we? I mean, if he doesn't, this is a pig.
I actually think he doesn't.
He doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's got. So the lamp. I mean, the pop-up prevents lamprey.
Yeah.
So that's great. And the wrap is annoying to get through. It's got David. I feel like David is it. I think that's so he doesn't plan to run through.
So he can't really lamprey lock then, really. I mean, unless he can get up enough suckers, but he's only got 1 now to kill the wraparound. So that kind of rules out the lamprey lock, right? If you can't keep running HQ, you can't keep using the David tokens. So
I think a solution here might be medium.
Yeah.
And just go nuts on R&D. If Alice can't draw the agendas or the kill. Also, if you do deep medium digs, you might be able to target mills to kill key kill cards.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think you're right. Medium is the way to win this game. He's on a clock now.
So he's going to cash. So he's just going for some mills. He might consider checking archives then.
So he's going
to lose 1 sucker counter.
We've had this remote. I think that's been there since turn 1. There's not many things it can be.
It kind of has to. I mean, I'm feeling Jackson
feels incredibly likely. Yeah.
But Joey's not tempted to run it. I might have been by now.
Perhaps he's just lost track of it. It's easier when you've not been playing, when you're watching the game, to have seen it there.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to make any other decisions.
It could be it could be like Sansan or something, as you say. I feel like that's not very likely.
It doesn't seem very likely because it's not been used.
And it went out turn 1 with an Astro.
Yeah. I mean, Alice might have just wanted to put anything out just to camouflage the Astro, you know, just to reduce the odds.
Or indeed, she might have installed Sansan for a draw, got an Astro, and said, I'll throw this out, see what happens.
Also possible.
So she installed a piece of ice in a remote.
Does seem highly likely that's a Jackson to me, but we'll see.
Yeah, so what do you think this ice is? We saw a Data Raven in HQ.
Yeah, it's interesting. It could just be to draw, or it could be to try and get the final 3-2 points. You would think you'd like to ice R&D here at some point, because, as you say, medium is Joey's probably best play at the moment.
I mean, if he's got a Parasite and a medium in hand,
yeah,
he can afford to install both and then run on R&D twice. And suddenly you've got a genuine R&D problem you've got to solve.
And a Data Raven isn't great. I mean, it kind of forces Joey to go tag me.
Which you might consider now, because he's 5 points down.
Yeah, exactly. But then that just opens up the kill. So, okay, so this is interesting. So we suspect it's a Data Raven. Possibly with an agenda behind it.
So I mean, it could be. It's not likely to be a wrap with an agenda behind it. I mean, it could be it could be a wrap with Jackson behind it. Something else.
It could be a wrap. Yeah, just to burn a David token. It does feel very much like it'd be the Data Raven.
Got Grimoire. Okay.
So does this mean Joey's not running it?
I mean, it's Grimoire. I'm not sure what use that is. If he's thinking of checking this remote.
It seems a little bit late, doesn't it? I mean, it gets you more in tokens. It pays for itself in cash, but.
Okay, so it gets back. It makes you 1 credit profit on cash. But
it's also buying the memory as well, actually, to not to have to trash any of these programs here.
Yeah, he still hasn't got ESOPs.
So he's got 2 clicks left, has he?
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to run this remote, right? Well, it looks to me if he's installing Faust. So he's running last click on the remote.
He's going to run, so.
Oh wow. Okay, so what a decision to make. The last click.
So it is click 4. Yeah. Okay. So this is a good point. So David does nothing. He can take a tag and break it with Faust, probably. He hasn't got a lot of cards, but he probably can.
He can 2 tags, essentially.
He can take a tag and a trace. Well, yeah, which is even worse. He could face the trace and beat it if she doesn't boost it.
Yeah.
But she would probably throw in 1 credit to make it land. Yeah, tough one.
And Joey's on how many points?
He's on 0 points, yeah.
Wow.
But you have to...
I think I don't take the tag here.
You bounce?
I think I bounce. It's really hard to know, but...
Yeah, it's risky because I mean it could be game.
Perhaps Joey should have run on an earlier click. Perhaps if he'd remembered the Data Raven he'd seen, he could have guessed this or anticipated this a bit more.
Yeah, that's true. He installed
the Grimoire,
Grimoire and the cash,
the Grimoire,
which basically cancel each other out. I mean, it might have been better for him just to install, say, Faust.
Okay, and so run. He's continuing. Then the trace is going.
So he's going to take a tag, reckless, and he's going to face the trace and not boost it. He's going to give 50 minutes. Good work.
He doesn't really want that.
No,
he slams it down.
Of all agendas, I think that's the one.
So we got. It looks like 5 in hand, or certainly 4.
Yeah, he's got.
So we need
I think it's 4 or 5. Yeah.
Any 2 kill pieces though.
Yeah.
And a click to draw to find them if you don't have.
That's true. That's true. So he has a tag.
Yeah.
And Alice can land another tag whenever she wants. Doesn't even have to be now. You feel like now that there's a sucker, or a counter on the Data Raven, that's going to stay there for a while.
Yeah, until Joey threatens to parasite it.
She takes 3 credits. So she's in no rush. No rush.
That's an interesting move. She didn't draw for another kill piece.
Or even take 2 credits and take back 50 minutes, for instance.
Yeah, like, I mean, what do you need this money for now? 8 credits.
Maybe you want to play 3 Scorches.
Maybe, but you don't need 3.
That's true, 2 Scorches.
I guess Salem's...
Well, 3 would go through an I've had worse.
She could be worried about I've had worse. And we know this is Salem's in hand, right? Or did Joey mill that? He may have milled that. He saw it on R&D.
He actually on R&D, I think he did not mill it.
Okay.
I think he wasn't able to mill it, so I think she did draw it.
And I guess she feels, yeah, so Joey's definitely got
medium,
the right
right.
thing
here we go. Parasite medium.
All
Okay.
in on the medium.
So
yeah.
we mentioned this before. I think this is a good solution. Throw away
6
cash,
points needed.
sure. So he's just going to run R&D twice. He's going to continue to keep this tag.
Yeah, well, the thing is with the Data Raven, I mean...
So that's the other thing Alice could have done last turn. She could have trashed Worldside, for instance. Or Pancakes, I don't know. Whether she'd rather deny the click, maybe.
Certainly feels like there was more options available than taking 3 credits that probably aren't needed.
All Seeing Eye, yeah.
Okay.
That's going to get played very shortly.
Save some money there, yeah.
Piece of Ice, I couldn't work out what it was.
It was a wraparound.
Oh, good eye.
Which would
Very
be
good eye,
perfect.
yeah. That would be good. Yes, he's got 1 more click. Do you run again for basically 1 access? I mean, you're at 1 point, so you know she's not going to draw an agenda or a kill piece.
You might want to mill that All Seeing Eye, but maybe it doesn't matter.
You can't even clear this tag.
Yeah.
You can't even force her to use the Data Raven to blow up your stuff. Just he takes a credit. All right. Now, I mean, she may have a kill in hand for all we know.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand Alice's last turn, so I wonder what she's planning with the 8 credits. Because she doesn't have the kill or any way of scoring.
I might even need to.
Yeah,
she's actually in big trouble here. Okay, so
she's going to give him a second tag. Traffic, okay, into a Scorch, yeah. All right, and all Seeing Eye,
right,
because she can. Rude. Okay, well done, Alice. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Commiserations to Joey for coming second, as he likes to do. Yeah, but congratulations to Alice, who faced 59 people. Well, not all of them, of course, but over the course of the day, it was a 59-person tournament. And she lost 1 game all day, incredibly.
Yeah, a great record.
I forget who's against. I want to say it was against Chris Dyer.
Yeah, I think
it
they
was.
split, yeah.
I think they split. And obviously Chris Dyer's a great player as well, so there's no shame in that, yeah. So, yeah. Commiserations to Joey. He kind of fell behind there. He lost the early Astro. He floundered a bit. He didn't get any early ESOPs. So while he had Wildside and stuff early on, he had what appeared to be a good start. He didn't have solutions for Ice as simple as wrap around into a pop-up.
Yeah.
And Alice was just able to kind of score. She used the Astro to score a Beal, which seemed suboptimal. But...
yeah, I mean, it also had the benefit of making Joey panic, right? Joey panic, and it appeared that he did panic a little bit on that last turn when he took the tag.
Taking tag, going to a Data Raven.
And running last click was dangerous anyway, regardless of whether or not it was a Data Raven. So, you know, it could be a snare behind there. So it's never really what you want to do. So maybe the Astro token brought her the psychological
maybe.
Strength of being on 5 points. But I think perhaps looking back, perhaps Joey could have taken a step back, knowing that Alice had no way of scoring without a Sansan, or no way of fast advancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well played, Alice.
Yeah, he could have. So maybe Joe could have checked that remote, or we still didn't find out what it was. I guess I assume it was a Jackson. It went down turn 1. Maybe you keep.
Oh yeah. We'll never know. Will
yeah,
we?
we'll never know.
Well, maybe we could wind the video back.
Sure, I'll look at the raw footage. Yeah, okay.
My money's on Jackson, but yeah,
yeah, I think mine is too. But she installed it first turn, which maybe you don't do against Noise because it's probably going to get run and imped. I don't know.
But if you're trying to sneak out an Astro, then
it's better than nothing. Sure, put next to it. Yeah, fair. Okay, all right. So yes, that is the end of our Birmingham regional coverage. And as we say, congratulations to Alice. We should thank Wayland's Forge, who ran it very well as well. Jay was the kind of TO. He organised the stuff, but he did a great job. He had no netrunner knowledge, so he enlisted Andrew Hines, Zenesis. as we know
Very
him
good
online,
judge.
to be judge on the day, and he
Yeah.
did a great job as well. You know, the whole day was run very smoothly. Actually, it was great. And yeah, it was a good day. It was fun. I kind of went. I just decided the day before that I fancied going, so I did, and it was good fun.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. So next up, we're gonna have footage from the Expo. Now I know you were at the UK Games Expo.
I was there, yes.
Which was a regional that also took place in Birmingham.
The mega regional.
Yes, called the Mega Regional because it had 121.
Yeah, about that.
It had a lot of people at it. Yeah, that was a long day. So that was 7 rounds of Swiss followed by top 8 on the same day.
Very tiring.
Yes, so we're gonna have footage from the cut of that, and in fact, I'm gonna use the live commentary. Now we streamed it. I streamed for the first time at that tournament, which was a bracing process, but actually I thought it went very well. And we're gonna use the footage from that from the stream. I'm gonna edit and stuff, so it'll look nicer than the live.
Jono.
Yeah, it'll look nicer than the live stream actually
Cheating.
did. Yeah, but I used the live commentary and stuff because it was quite good. We had some good guest commentators drop in throughout, yourself included, if I recall.
It was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, and it was good. Yeah, it was a good day. So I'm looking forward to those videos quite a lot.
Definitely.
So that's it. I will remind all of our viewers that they can find our videos at the website nearrunningGrid.co.uk. They can find us on Twitter and on Facebook. And if you'd like to support the channel, all contributions are gratefully appreciated at our Patreon page. You can also listen to the new Dead Channel podcast from Near Running Grid. Thank you, Laurie, for helping me commentate on this video.
Not a problem, Jono. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.